Hello everyone, this is Wayne Crow, and in today's podcast we're going to be talking about blogging and how you make money from blogging. I'm also going to be talking about my journey and starting my own blog and how I'm going to monetize it as well, and I'm extremely excited to show you this because it's brand new to me and I'm hoping to learn from you guys as well. So I hope you enjoy the video and I'll see you on the inside.
A really cool episode for you today. So if you are interested in making money online, specifically about blogging, you guys are going to want to stick around today because we're talking about that very thing today and the different kind of avenues that you can go with it. So Wayne, you've actually taken upon yourself to start this new endeavor. I've been blogging for a little while. The type of blog that I run is a review blog where I offer up different reviews for products and things like that. And then, of course, every once in a while, I'll go ahead and do some type of personal kind of funny story. And, of course, as always, there's lead generation going on my pages. But why don't you kind of bring us into your world, into Wayne's world.
Wayne's world.
no pun intended on that one. To give us kind of an understanding of why are you even going this route right now? Because you are such a proficient and successful traffic guy. What's going on with this blog that you're thinking about doing?
Great question, Rob. If I think back and I think, would I be trying to run a blog? I've tried before and it just didn't interest me. But now I've kind of thought, right, I've got all this stuff I want to do, as you do. I've got all these plans. I've got the team I can use to implement all these plans. So it's like, how do I bring it all together? How do I create a centerpiece for all this work to kind of be spit and churned out of? So I spoke to my my funnel guy and said, look, this is what we're going to do. These are the plans. We had a long meeting with the team. And it was like, right, the centerpiece will be a blog. Okay, so that's how we got to it. So basically, all of our content is going to be put onto the blog because that will help build a brand, give value, and be the centerpiece for our whole marketing ecosystem. That's what it's for. It's going to be the cornerstone of our marketing ecosystem is basically what it is. So when we create something on the blog, it creates a whole chain reaction within the team who then turn it into a video. They turn it into social media content. They turn it into emails. They turn it into chatbots. Just having that kind of one centerpiece. And for me, it's kind of, in a way, being lazy. I do this one job and it triggers the whole team into taking action on that one job. So that for me is really what the blog's all about.
It sounds like, I mean, a lot of people kind of do this and they call it their hub site, right? This is kind of the central motherboard of where everything either drives to or comes from. It's either the very source or it's the end all be all of the line, sort of say, to get you to where ultimately you want people to end up going. And certainly there's a lot of merit in doing this particular type of marketing because a lot of people do extremely well with this, especially if you have a team that is able to run, whether that's SEO or just content marketing and really structuring your site in such a way to where it's going to maximize the conversions of the person who is coming to your site. So what kind of what's going to be the theme of the site, Wayne?
The theme is all about, believe it or not, traffic and converting traffic. That's surprising, I know, but that's going to be the main theme of the site. And we've got it. We're going to make a lot of errors. We're going to hopefully have a few successes. I'm going to meet people who have blogged and gives us loads of shortcuts. Luckily, I've got a fantastic team who have the experience where I don't, so I can kind of pinpoint where we're going wrong. And then we're just going to share the journey. We're going to share it with everyone, and hopefully some people will be inspired to make a blog. Some people will be inspired to become traffic providers or learn a new traffic method. And that's the kind of the whole ethos behind our entire marketing system that the blog's at the cornerstone of, the hub site, as you called it.
Well, it sounds like what you're going to do in terms of documenting this entire journey, it sounds like you're going to be turning into some type of a blogger, Gary V. Is that true? Are you turning into Gary V?
No, I'll never be a Gary V, mate, but it's kind of another way to gain traffic. So when you think, my business fairly well, so when you think of my business as a whole, I've got a lot of value to give on the whatever kind of platform I choose to give it on. But the end result is always I want people to come into our VIP. That's kind of the end result. So that takes time for people to digest the content, see kind of what you're talking about. And I think a blog is just a really good way of doing that. And when I think, what are my goals, which I've done a lot lately of all things that happen in my personal life, think what are my actual goals with this online thing when you get shifted slightly. And I work long hours, and I don't always want to work long hours. So kind of not only is it a place to document everything, it's a place to put one piece of work, and then it turns into other pieces of work. It's a place to you can monetize it. We're going to monetize it by branding it. We've got a brand site being made in partnership with it as well. By brand site, I mean a site where it's about me. I've never had that before. I never had a website about me. It has all my projects on there, all my interviews. It has our podcast on there. It has everything on it. So it's really a site about me, and that's being built in conjunction. So they work together in creating the whole ecosystem. So if you imagine that the ecosystem of the blog is our marketing ecosystem, and the page, the About Me page, is the kind of plan and project moving forward and a storage of what we've already done. So yeah,
man, that sounds like a crazy undertaking, but the numbers bear out that when you put something together like this, as long as the strategy and the game plan is sound, it always seems to work out in the end, especially if you have the ability to have a team behind you. Now, obviously, if you're doing this all yourself, it's going to take a heck of a lot longer. It's going to take a heck of a lot more effort on your end. And then, of course, because you're the researcher, you're the tech guy, you're the page builder, you're doing all of the things. Yeah. A lot of things end up kind of falling by the wayside because you're not able to focus on one thing at a time. You're kind of becoming a jack of all trades while becoming a master of none. And then, of course, you're forgetting to screw in some of the screws in the necessary places where key elements need to stand up and stay firm. And then, of course, 6 months down the road, you maybe make some money, but all of a sudden things come crashing down. And of course, because you didn't have that team in place, it's going to become a lot harder for you to do. So guys, take this advice and to understand that running a business is not always as simple as clicking a button, as a lot of people will say. There's a lot of moving parts. And if you're able to manage these moving parts and get the right team around you, these things can be massively profitable. So it's all about traffic. It's all about how people can convert. What can people expect as kind of a sneak peek as to some of the first types of content that you're going to be releasing? What first of all, do you have what's the branding name behind this mastermind Frankenstein child of yours?
What it's under my name. So
WayneCrow.com?
It's going to be just WayneCrow.com. But if you guys want to see it, you can watch the entire journey at blog.WayneCrow.com. You'll see it as just a template. We've got a logo on there, but you can kind of see it now change over time. So that's what we want to do. Anything we do, we're going to document on the blog. We're going to make massive failures, but we can document them so other people don't make them, and all the successes as well we can document, so it gives massive value in our successes and failures on there. But that's basically where it's all going to happen. So you can see it live, you can see it transform, you can see that everything starts off as a blank canvas, like this did just days ago. and you can kind of catch up with how this is going to move forward. And we want you to have a look. We want you to see that it's a template. You know, it's not something we've made from the ground up, but you can see what you can do. It's just a WordPress site, and you're going to see how it's going to evolve. There's lots of stuff already in there in the background. I've done plenty of content for it already. We're going to see if we can be consistent with it, and I'm thinking we should, because the whole team waits for me, so I've got no excuse not to be consistent, because it'll cost me money.
Damn you, Wayne Crow. I'm looking at the website right now. Listen, this thing looks like it's been put together by $1 million team, okay? The site is fast. The site is crisp. I love your logo. I mean, there's no man, listen. I'm going to have to steal your template or something here for my website. But congratulations, man. That is absolutely awesome. Now, when is this set to launch?
There's no set date we're going to launch it, because it's not a product. It's not something we're going to say we've got to be ready by this date. It is exactly as I just described it. It's going to be a case study. Everything we do, we're going to turn to case study, the same with the blog. So we're just going to evolve it so people can see how it evolves, if that makes sense. Instead of putting a maintenance site up, my guy wanted, my funnel and WordPress guy wanted to put a maintenance site up. So it's really, I'm like, no, let's show people, anyone that follows me, look, we all have to put the hard work in. It just doesn't appear. And anyone that joins us from now, for example, then they'll see how it evolves, how it changes, all the work we have to put in. I think that's a big part of it. A big part of it. And we can document it as well and say, this is how you make a blog.
You know, a lot of people are big on the document everything, right? And I was kind of making fun of you earlier about the whole Gary V thing. But listen, he's got something when it comes to document everything, right? That's kind of how he made his riches, right? Just because he's followed everywhere with a camera. He makes sure that everything that he does on the computer, on his phone calls, on all of that is recorded. I just bought myself a pretty nice, camera.
Very nice.
So that I can record my experiences on the go. So and so much so that now my son is like, "Hey, Dad, can we do a YouTube channel together?"
That's awesome.
So now I'm going to be doing a YouTube channel with my son. But I catch myself in moments all the time when I'm like, man, I wish I had a camera to do that. And I'll give you a perfect Wayne, this episode could not have happened at a more perfect time, and here's why. Because you said you're going to do a journey to kind of document everything. And that's kind of what I'm doing, just kind of as an overall kind of process, so that people can see when I wasn't making much at all to when I started making a little bit like I am now, to where I become a bigger success, and I have proof of kind of the journey that I've been on. Today, a door-to-door salesman came by my house. I love door-to-door salesmen because a lot of what we do online translates offline extremely well, especially in the area of like copywriting. I am obsessed right now with, I think there's like 7 copywriting programs that I'm enrolled in right now that are all they're all helping me, by the way.
Yeah.
And this young gentleman comes to my door selling pest control. I've already got a pest control guy, and I said, "Hey, listen, you're doing everything wrong. How would you like to leave my house and immediately see sales results happen?" Okay. And I had all this in my mind on why I was doing this, because what I want to do eventually is become some type of a sales kind of guru coach guy, where I'm doing private coaching for copywriting, for just sales in general, not just for internet marketing, but for any organization that needs help. So I said this: you leave my house, do exactly what I tell you. If you get a sale within the next, 20 knocks on a door, I want you to come back and do a testimonial for me, and I'll even buy your service. He goes, done. Within not even 20 minutes, he comes back shaking. Okay, he's like visibly shaking. Young kid, 20 years old. He goes, listen, you're not going to believe what just happened. I did exactly what you told me to do, and the lady bought a 2-year contract.
Wow.
Listen, I was so elated.
What was it?
Well, here's what I told him to do, because I'll give you guys this is going to be gold nuggets for you in your email copy, in your sales form copy. It doesn't matter what. I told him that you're not focused enough on the person's problem. You're trying to close every door that you knock, and that your company probably told you to try to do that. You're getting it wrong and you're losing money, okay? This is what I told the kid in my house. He spent 30 minutes inside of my kitchen listening to me talk, okay? Now, I said, listen, what you need to do is look at the house, find the potential problems that your company solves. Spider webs, an infestation of ants, a bunch of flies, a bunch of mosquitoes, whatever it may be. I don't know anything about his organization, but I know that these things are a nuisance. And I told him, I said, go to the door and say these exact words. Ma'am, sir, I'm in the neighborhood because I'm helping people do X, Y, and Z. I took a quick look around your house, and I told him to take his fingers and run it on a spider web on the side of the house. And this is what I found. And here are 3 reasons why this is a problem. You could get bit. They come into the house and are a nuisance. And they can lay eggs, and all of a sudden you find yourself with an infestation in your house. You don't want that, do you? And then they go, of course I don't want that. Say, you hate bugs, right? And they, of course, said yes. And then I said, then you go into your pitch. How would you like it if we can go ahead and eradicate 90% of your problem with this one bug solution that we have? And then you go into the features and the benefits and how it's going to eliminate the problem. All we need for you to do is sign up for a spray tomorrow and a quarterly checkup. And they were like, absolutely. Sure enough, he ended up getting like a $700 for the year contract within like 10 minutes. It was like 5 houses down from my house just now, like half an hour ago. And he shot a testimonial for me. I'm going to be putting it on social media later. Awesome. But this is what my kind of game plan is, and that's why I'm recording everything. I'm documenting everything. It doesn't matter how small or big, because you can always edit. But documenting everything, guys, is a huge thing, especially if you're blogging. I don't know if you've seen this, Wayne, but have you ever visited those blogs where they do like income reports?
I've seen some lately. I'm not a big blog reader, actually, myself.
Well, you need to be now. But what they're doing is they're documenting their journey in terms of revenue sold or profits made. And this is a big deal when it comes to your kind of tribe that you're building, is that you're showing them what is possible. You're showing them the potential by showing them that you're kind of tracking the progress. And as long as there is progress, there's always going to be benefit for you at the end.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing that with blogging, one thing that we kind of wanted to touch on was, how do we monetize with a blog? So you've made a blog. You update it once, twice, 3 times a week, whatever you can do, and that's your main focus. But how do people monetize their blog?
Well, there's a number of ways, right? There are banner ads that you can charge for space on your site, but the problem is that you have to already have an established traffic source coming to your page, right? What if you don't have a ton of traffic coming to your site? Another way is the way that I do it is running reviews. And of course, because I have a tribe of email followers that I can send new blog posts to, I can do what is known in this as an advertorial. It's kind of like an editorial advertisement where I'm talking about the cons and benefits of something, and somehow tying in a product into this particular blog piece to where people, when they click on it and they are served the sales page of that particular product, if they purchase, I get a sale. There's also the ability for people to do AdSense, right? I'm not a big AdSense guy.
Okay.
And maybe you could talk about that a little bit more and how that would work on a blog. But there are numerous ways of monetizing your blog. I mean, just running a blog alone is going to allow you to put in opt-in forms and collect email addresses. You provide enough value, and you do what is known in the industry as maybe a skyscraper method, right? The skyscraper method is writing a very long piece of content that is super helpful, but it will not completely eradicate the problem that the reader is having. And behind a opt-in page is going to be a course of some sort, additional information that will fully take care of the issue that they're looking to solve. So it really just comes down to what kind of problem solving are you into, right? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, Wayne?
Yeah, AdSense is a big one. It's probably one of the easiest to kind of monetize with. Also, you've got the kind of indirect way of making money, which is building a brand. That's kind of an indirect side effect. Is you give so much value, you write stuff people want to read, you're building your brand. You can get featured blog posts, so people can kind of pay you to blog on there because they're advertising their product and their product fit your audience. You can get affiliate commissions like that. There's just tons of ways of actually monetizing. This particular blog, we're not going to monetize it. We're going to use it for lead generation, which is the opt-in form. The start of all our journey that we're going to build starts there. So the entire customer flow is going to start from the blog, and all the products are going to flow in a kind of journey from there. So lead generation and brand building and value giving is really about, for me personally, but it was just kind of, if someone's starting a blog, they may not know what lead generation is. AdSense is a nice, easy way just to get started. You can use WordPress. You can use platforms like Blogger, which obviously, if you're going to use AdSense, Blogger's owned by Google, so it just kind of makes it easier to get approved and that kind of stuff. And there's so many ways. Banner ads, like you said. There's text link ads. I forgot the name of the network that do that. So there's tons of ways to actually monetize it.
Well, let me ask you this also then. Now, you said you're not going to be monetizing it in that sense. It's going to be mainly for lead generation. Are you going to be focused on text-based content or video blogging?
Both. So the plan is, we'll see how this turn out, is we know the theme for the week. I'll shoot the videos or make them live. I've got a copyright. We'll then turn that video into some well-written copy before I review it and it goes live. And that's when everything else kicks into action. So that's the plan. Whether it turns out like that or not, I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see you on the journey here, my friend. On another note, did you hear that Colorado here in the States decriminalized magic mushrooms?
No.
That may help you with your creative side. If you ever travel to Colorado, drop some mushrooms and see what happens.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
Traffic Domination does not condone the use of any illegal substances. FFIC. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. We are excited to see the Traffic Domination blog. Wayne Crow's blog, not Traffic Domination.
Wayne Crow, different brand.
But he will show you how to dominate traffic, how to get all that juicy men, women coming into your space and giving you their ever coveted email address. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you loved this episode, make sure you like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play. We are on all of the major podcast catchers. Just type in the Traffic Domination Podcast. And, of course, you can join us in the free online marketing group by Traffic Domination on Facebook, where we share all sorts of incredible, actionable stuff on how to make money online. But until next time, this is Rob RECCE and Wayne Crow saying sayonara.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.